Economics is the study of how society chooses to employ scarce resources to produce various goods and services and to distribute them for consumption among various competing groups and individuals. Some economists say the world is in a similar situation. They believe that the world must do with the resources it has now. Land, for example, is one resource that is limited. Economics was once called the dismal science because it was so pessimistic. The definition of economics in the past implied a zero sum game in which there were limited resources that had to be divided among competing groups and individuals. A zero sum game is one in which I win, you lose. If I get some resource, then you must do without. Operating under which a operating under such a premise, governments around the world design systems to allocate mostly scarce resources. Some economists note that you have the potential to greatly increase your resources. With more education and more skills, you can create more wealth for yourself and improve your standard of living. Those economists believe that the world can do the same. They make a strong case that most resources are not fixed. They believe that resources can be expanded as technology discovers new energy resources, new ways of growing food, and new ways of creating needed goods and services. They would be tempted to eliminate the adjective scarce from the definition of resources to be allocated through economic planning. There is no way to create peace and prosperity in the whole world by merely dividing known resources among all the peoples of the world. There are not enough known resources available to do that. Business leaders, therefore, need to take a leadership position in showing global leaders how to increase resources so that there will be more goods and services for everyone. Resource development is the study of how to use technology to increase the resources of the world and to create the conditions that will make better use of those resources. Rather than operate in a zero sum society, the goal is to create a growing economy with more resources available for everyone. Governments would still be concerned about the fair distribution of resources. But there would be more resources to go around. If you were to go through the course list in economics at most colleges or economic schools, you would find courses in both macroeconomics and microeconomics. one country to prosper and grow while other countries with similar resources remain poor? What causes unemployment? How much a country's wealth should be spent on government programs such as defense, welfare, and education? How can the newly formed Commonwealth of Independent States, those were former part of former Soviet Union, and the various Central European countries, that is, the countries that were formerly called Eastern Europe, such as Poland, Czechoslovakia, manage the transition from communism to some form of free market capitalism? These and similar questions are the subject of macroeconomics. Macroeconomics is the study of nations' economy as a whole, and macroeconomics can be fascinating subject to study because it looks at such important issues as whether or not taxes should be raised, how to handle the problems of inflation and depression, and much more. Nearly every major social, political, or economic issue can be discussed more intelligently and objectively once one understands basic macroeconomics. Now, microeconomics. What is microeconomics? What happens to the price of corn when there is a drought in the Midwest? What happens to the supply of farm products when the government subsidizes farmers or keeps farm prices artificially low? What is the impact of economics? What is the impact of income taxes versus sales taxes on consumers? How does one determine the value of leisure time? These and similar questions are the subject of microeconomics. So, microeconomics is the study of the behavior of people and organizations in particular markets. It looks at how prices are determined and how people and businesses respond to changes in the market. And microeconomics can also be challenging to study because it teaches principles that can be used in everyday buying and selling transactions with others. And microeconomics also explains how free markets work. Many countries in the world today are trying to introduce market economies. Log on to my website www.asifjmeer.com. I also invite you to visit my blog at asifjmeer.wordpress.com. Have a great day.